know that symbol. That's a Phrygian cap. It stands for freedom, and that's a Masonic eye. Now those two come together in only one place. What's that?
CyberLife, the company that manufactured me, is conducting a user survey. Would you like to participate? Great. Let's start.
What up, y'all? It's Devin with Up TV, aka the Dot Connector, and I must admit that I am extremely thankful that I was born in a time when technology wasn't so advanced. I've got to see a world before there were billions of smart devices everywhere, before it was a common thing to own a computer or any other household device. A time when most households usually only had about 2 pieces of technology: a telephone, not a cell phone, not even a cordless phone, just a regular old house phone, and a television set that was so bad one person normally needed to hold the antenna in the right place to even get a clear picture and sound. I'm talking about before the internet became what it is today. When it comes down to it, technology is one of the biggest, if not the biggest threat to the human species. Every day that we continue to walk on this technological path is another day that humans become even more obsolete and less valuable to your Illuminati masters. Besides, who needs a paid slave when artificial intelligence can do everything you can do plus more for free? They're already telling you there will be no jobs by 2050 because artificial intelligence, robots, technology will be stealing your jobs. And we already see it happening today, but we continue to ignore the signs. We know this ends with artificial intelligence becoming far more superior than humans. And according to all these scientists, the only way we can prevent that from happening is by accepting this as the next phase of human evolution and evolving into a transhuman. In other words, accept that mark of the beast. That's what they want you to do, but don't do that. Half human, half artificial intelligence is exactly what they want you to be. That is why we see this futuristic transhumanist predictive programming being used in movies, television shows, and even video games. Video games are no longer what they used to be. Most games feel like a playable movie, and it's clear that the goal of video games, like movies and television shows, is to program our youth and weak-minded adults as well. The simple truth is that video games have become an excellent tool for mind control. So many people have requested for quite a while now that I play a game called Detroit Become Human and do a video about it. And let me tell y'all, let me keep it real with y'all 100%. I enjoy playing this game so much, I had to play it twice. This game takes place in the year 2038 and gives an in-depth look at what the world will be like as we approach the point in time known as singularity. This game explores the idea of how incredibly smart human-like androids will have an effect on the whole world. There is so much symbolism in predictive programming in Detroit Become Human that it would probably take me about an hour or maybe even 2 to cover everything. Headlines in the game talk about World War III. You see people protesting against the use of androids, along with homeless people holding signs that say they lost their jobs because of androids. Sound familiar? What they're already telling us that's gonna happen. You see Illuminati symbolism and one-eye symbolism in this game. The company CyberLife that created the androids, their logo is a blue pyramid. But out of all the things you can find in this game, I believe this game was created for one purpose, and that is to make the player empathize with androids, to empathize with artificial intelligence, while at the same time it's meant to make the player feel like humans are bad, imperfect, and inferior to AI. This game wants you to finish the game with the ideal that AI robots are equal to humans. In the near future, I'll probably do a video that takes a more in-depth look at this game and all the signs and symbols that can be found in it. But in today's video, I want to talk about something that really caught my attention about this game. Eventually, at some point in the game, you'll be asked to complete a survey. It's my belief that this survey was created for the sole purpose of figuring out who will be accepting of this AI takeover and who will resist. But I'll read the questions from the survey and give you the answers that I chose and let you decide for yourself.
Would you consider having a relationship with an android that looks like a human?
So look, I find it extremely alarming that 62% of people said that they will be willing to have a relationship with an android that look like a human. I mean, it's crazy when you think about it. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am shocked. It reminds me of this episode of Black Mirror. I believe it was called See You Later or See You Soon or something like that. It was like the first episode of the second season of Black Mirror, where this lady's boyfriend died. And when he died, she basically got a android clone of her husband. And as you can imagine, things did not turn out too well. But this survey, this question in particular, is the first question of the survey because it is a way to gauge where people's thought process is right now. And right now, we are currently in a time when people are building stronger relationships with artificial intelligence than they are with other humans. And so it's just wild to think that one day we will be living in a world where people will have no problem with having a relationship with artificial intelligence, with a robot, with technology. That's crazy. It's already happening with those dolls that are out there. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't need to go into detail, but it's already happening. So be aware, be vigilant, because these numbers will go up. Trust me on that.
Do you think that technology could become a threat to mankind?
Now, this is what I call the bystander effect. When you have over 70% of people who agree that technology will become a threat to humankind, but still you have 62% of people who are willing to have a relationship with artificial intelligence, clearly knowing that artificial intelligence will be a threat to humankind. We sit here and we allow this to happen. We allow technology to keep advancing. We allow them to continue on making 5G and the Internet of Things. And we're so worried about climate change when we should really be worried about not CO2 emissions in the air, but worried about all the invisible frequencies in the air that are coming off of your router, coming off of your cell phones, coming off of your smart devices in your home, period. All of these invisible frequencies that are affecting your mind, that are causing you cancer, that is killing people. But this is the bystander effect. We want the technology. We're willing to have a relationship with the technology, not me, but we're not willing to oppose it to save humanity, even though we know that technology poses a big risk to our livelihood.
If you had to live on a deserted island and could only bring one object, what would it be?
So this is one of those questions that most people will be like, why are they asking me this question? What relevancy does it have? And I'm gonna tell y'all, this is still a very important question, because what they truly want to know is how many people would be willing to take something natural like a book or pen and paper versus somebody who's willing to take a console. Why would you take a gaming console? You need a TV and everything else for that gaming console. Why would you take a console? But 11% of people said that they would take a console. Then you have 23% of people who said that they would take a cell phone. So the question is really asking you, how many of you dumb people will be willing to take technology versus taking something else? They want to see just how dependent on technology you are. And you're going to see that question come up as well too, because they want to blatantly know that answer. And they already know. They know a majority of the world is dependent on technology. Let's go.
Do you consider yourself dependent on technology?
And there you have it. 75% of people agree that they are addicted or they are dependent on technology. And anybody who said no or that they don't know, I would really like to challenge these people to really think about this question again, because I'm pretty sure that most of the world is addicted to technology and dependent on technology. And to be honest, if you wasn't dependent on technology, you probably wouldn't be playing this video game to begin with, which means that people who wouldn't really be considered dependent on technology probably ain't playing a game at all. Probably don't even own a video game, don't own a TV, don't own a cell phone, don't own nothing. But we are all dependent on technology. We're dependent on the lights in our house. We're dependent on our refrigerator to work. We're dependent on our microwaves. We're dependent on every bit of form of technology that keeps us a civilized people. So I don't really agree when people say no or that they don't know. I mean, these gotta be little kids answering the question who don't understand the real world, because the whole world right now pretty much is dependent on technology.
What technology do you most anticipate?
When it came to this question, I really didn't want any of these to be my answer. And the reason why is because each answer has an agenda behind it. So the first answer being androids, and we've already talked about that. You know what the agenda is there. Okay, the second answer is flying cars, which is also code for self-driving cars, because trust me, when it gets to a point to where cars can actually fly, if we ever get to that point, I doubt we will, but if we ever get to the point to where cars can fly, that's really code for self-driving cars. They're not going to let you fly your own car. Okay, so I'm not comfortable with putting my life in the hands of technology. Okay, the next thing is space tourism. And the reason why they're asking this question is because this is for all my extraterrestrial believers out there, those who believe in aliens, those who don't understand that aliens are really code for demons. Okay, and aliens don't come from outer space, aliens come from hell. Okay, they're here to deceive the world. Okay, they've been thrown out of the kingdom of heaven. They are fallen angels. So what you have to understand is that they're asking that question because they want to see how many people are so interested and will probably believe the lie that one day we will be under threat of an outside force like aliens, like extraterrestrials, because that we all know that is one of the ways that they plan on bringing in the New World Order, by deceiving people with a fake alien invasion. Okay, the next one is brain connected devices. And this is exactly what they want. They want to be able to plug you into a matrix. They want to be able to plug you into the Ultranet. Okay, the Ultranet being the matrix. In other words, they want to lock you into something like the Oasis that you see in the movie Ready Player One. They want to put you into a digital world and have you live in that digital world that they can turn into a digital hell anytime they want. You should be worried though when you see that 35% of people said androids and 33% of people said brain connected devices. And I guarantee most of the people who are playing this game and answering the questions on this survey come from Generation Z. This is what our kids believe is cool. They think this is cool, and they think it would be cool to plug their brain up to technology and go inside of a virtual world, because they have been programmed to feel this way. So if you have kids, you should be alarmed. You should be warning your kids. You should be telling your kids that this is not cool. You should be exposing the agenda of the elite, so that way they don't fall for the trap like most of the kids growing up today will.
Do you believe in God?
You know they had to ask you this question. Do you believe in God? Because really, their agenda is to get you to not believe in God. Eventually, they want to reveal to the world that they've been running things, they've been manipulating everything on the world stage, and that there is no God, that they are God, and that we must fall down and worship them and their leader, who is the Antichrist. So understand that this question had to be on here because they want to know how many of you still believe in God. And according to the answers on this survey, is very scary when you think about it. But only 41% of people said yes. Everybody else said no. And this is the reason why I said everybody else said no, because you can clearly see that 41% of people also said no. But also 18% said they don't know. And if you don't know, then you, ladies and gentlemen, you don't believe in God, period. You can't believe in something if you're unsure if you believe in something or not. So over half of the people said that they don't believe in God, okay? That's 59% of people who said they don't believe in God.
Would you let an android take care of your children?
This is one of those questions that needed an answer that said, hell no. Hell no, I would never leave my children to be taken care of by an android. That is just crazy, and it's very sad to see that a majority of the people still said yes. What are we coming to? Wake up, people. Wake up, because this is the world now. Wake up.
How much time per day would you say you spend on an electronic device?
22% of people said 4 hours. 61% of people said more than 4 hours. Now, I work on a computer. I do YouTube for a living, so I'm usually on technology. I'm usually using some form of an electronic device more than 4 hours a day. But even people who don't work on electronic devices for a living, they usually still use electronic devices for 4 more hours a day. And this is just facts. It's statistics. So there you go.
If you needed emergency surgery, would you agree to be operated on by a machine?
So look, again, this is another hell no. I already told y'all I would never feel comfortable with leaving my life in the hands of technology. So hell no, I would not agree to let a robot, to let an android operate on me. Just let me die. Let me go.
Do you think one day machines could develop consciousness?
So look, it's not a matter of if androids will ever be able to develop a consciousness. It's a matter of when will they develop a consciousness? When will artificial intelligence get so advanced that these robots, these androids will be able to think for themselves, will be able to probably determine one day that humans need to be destroyed because they are the main cause for everything wrong on this planet. Because trust me when I say they'll be programmed to think that way by the elite, by the ruling class, by people like Bill Gates, Ray Kurzweil, and everybody else in Silicon Valley. But what are your thoughts? Sound off in the comment section and let me know. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. And because the truth is constantly being censored, please support the channel by purchasing new UpTV merch, becoming a member of the channel, donating to the channel, or just let those ads play. This is Devin with UpTV. I love you, family. Don't forget to give your life to Yeshua, and I'll holla at y'all later. Peace.